Yes, yes. Another beautiful day in the neighborhood. Welcome, welcome everyone to the Wattskanda Earth Week Poetry Jam, where we have the Watts Writers Workshop in the house and we celebrate the Watts Prophets. This is Jacqueline Badejo, Watsonian, and I would like to introduce to you our awesome and amazing host for the night, Will Flow.
What's up, everybody? How you doing? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, cool. Welcome to the first annual Wattskanda event. We're gonna be kicking it off with some great talent. Uh, there's a lot of a great lineup of poets that are gonna be sharing tonight, and we're also gonna be honoring your own from your community, Watts, Father Ambe later on, and the Watts Prophets. Um, my name is William Flores. I go by Will Flow. Excuse my nervousness. It's been a while, but hey, we're doing this. Know what I mean? We're coming back. We're coming back strong. So we want to acknowledge, like the all the our ancestors that are here present. So like I see y'all, but you're multiplied. Know what I mean? All those generations behind you are also present, and all the generations that are yet to come are going to be influenced by our what we have to share here today on Earth Day. So thank you for honoring us with your talents and your skills. And then up first, we have our very own leader, our great from Wattskanda creator, and so many like businesses that she's opened up. Like she's an amazing, talented person. Um, we're gonna start off with Jackie. Jackie, can you please grace us with your talents, please?
Yes, peace and blessings to all. And I thank you again for being here tonight. I wrote a piece and it's specific for today, so I don't have it memorized, but it is called Inauguration and Inoculation of Slave Nations. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States and will do the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States of Slave Nations. Welcome to the United States of Slave Nations, where politics don't play, where you can find a slave on every estate. I try to give power to my people, electing the inaugural in the pits of the steeple, but they are too busy getting inoculated with their needles. Where is our wisdom amidst the trauma to our peoples? Say their names that we lost to false promises and institutions. And those some still walk around. Many are 6 feet under or in physical or literal prison. I'm from the hood, educated and see how it's not all good. How the inaugural inoculated the voice of the people by splintering your faith like wood. But we got it misunderstood. When the politics are grounded in population control, they own our names and say we best know our role. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. What you better know is we are people of the earth. And it's not quite that simple. I mean, it's quite that simple. Time to restore what has been broken, grow what we eat, have some healing retreats, because the old way was never working. Watts, we are in the promised land, and it's time to put an end to the inauguration and inoculation of slave nations. Thank you so much. That was what I wrote specifically here. Earth Week. Well, this is our Earth Week celebration, but the theme of Earth Day this year is restoring our Earth. And so, in restoring our Earth, that all comes with healing. And so, I would like to introduce someone who is a community engagement coordinator and founder of the South Central Arts out of Watts. He went to Jordan High School, class of 2003, Mr. William Flores, AKA Will Flow. He is passionate about writing and believes in the power of poetic words. Mr. Will Flow, I give it back to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that, being part of this space, and it's been a long time since we've came together. I remember walking, like down the park, and just seeing everybody like performing up by the Watts Towers, and it's an amazing like memory that I have. Um, and that with that said, the first poem that I want to open up with is um, "Go Green or No Home." Is it too much to ask to just learn from the past when the air that we breathe is like a poisonous gas? I wish you could see through the soul of a tree and know that the key is within you and me, but there's nothing but dirt and just broken cement covering the earth that we need to protect. For what goes around, well, you know the rest. No wonder our mother is getting so stressed. But the war is not over. Let the battle begin. With our powers combined, I know we can win. We're all like a seed that we're placed in this earth with a God given talent we were given at birth. But talk can be cheap, so let it be done. And better the future till the battle is won. And if ever you feel like you're getting off course, only remember the power is yours. For all my Captain Planet heads out there, I grew up with that. And um, up next, it is an honor to introduce to y'all two fellow classmates of mine. Uh, After high school, we actually got together, and they invited me to be part of a group called Poetry. I'm poets. I'm gonna let them like talk a little bit about that. But these two sisters have been, like putting in a lot of work, and developing their talents throughout the years. Without further ado, first I want to invite Amari up on the stage, followed by Lyrical.
Hello, everybody. Peace and blessings to everyone. God bless you guys. I appreciate the invite up on this space. Um, as Will was speaking, we started something 10, 11 years ago entitled Poets Inc., which stood for People Openly Expressing True Statements. Specifically, we were all representing Watt City, but we wanted to make a change as far as youth and community were concerned, doing it through spoken word and what we also consider poetry rap. Will, that was a beautiful piece. And I want to follow through and again ignite that I am a Watt City native, class of 2003. Also, I recently initiated my business as a limit liability company. I am a soy candle maker specifically, and I've been doing it roughly about 3 years. And God has just truly blessed me. And then I have to give a shout out to Lyrical as well, because she's going to tell you more about her entity, her developing her own record label. So we are just Watt City women trying to get our point across in a way where it's positivity and encourage people and help spirits heal. So the piece I'm going to do for you guys today is Legacy. Listen to me closely as I'm spitting out these words. The name is Amori, in case you haven't heard. I'm soaring like an eagle flying, not a baby bird. I'm claiming all my blessings and it works the devil's nerves. I'm walking in my season that's leading to my destiny. This world we live in is crazy mentality. Don't let the devil fool you by living his reality. You better live your legacy before it turns fatality. We wake up in the morning and walking in the streets, people fighting daily battles, trying to make ends meet. People inside boxes, no shoes on their feet. Someone getting raped saying, please don't hurt me. We all have decisions that can really make a difference. It depends on your spirit and what is your vision, what type of life that you end up living. Are you a devil's trooper or on a godly mission? Are you living life fully? What is true purpose? Do you feel depressed? Then your life is worthless. What makes you feel so internally nervous? Take a deep breath. Jesus, he can service. Open up the word. It states it very clearly. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not be weary. When God is in charge, enemies, I don't fear thee. Blood of the Lamb, make sure I'm set free. I'm spitting out these words. The name is Amori, in case you haven't heard. I'm soaring like an eagle flying, not a baby bird. I'm claiming all my blessings and it works the devil's nerves. Walking in my season, leading to my destiny. This world we live in. Crazy mentality. Don't let the devil fool you by living his reality. You better live your legacy, but it turns fatality. Making calculations on what's the next equation. Are you in the Lord's army or devil's invasion? Where's your mental state? Did you do the separation? Are you hindering what could be your elevation? Time to change the mind frame to new expectations. Feel the flow of change, that's the world's in rotation. Are you fighting daily battles causing devastation? Did you check your soul for some Bible preparation, which requires prayer and getting on your knees, asking for forgiveness to put the pain at ease? The devil is attacking, suffocating, you can't breathe. As Alpha and Omega, devil, no, he can't touch me. The Lord protects the ground and he only knows what's next. Devil know I'm covered in the blood by the best. Only God can judge me. Satan knows I'm blessed. Come to me who are weary and I'll give you rest. I'm spitting out these words. The name is Amori, in case you haven't heard. I'm soaring like a eagle flying, not a baby bird. I'm claiming all my blessings and it works the devil's nerves. I'm walking in my season, leading to my destiny. Where we live in, it's crazy mentality. Don't let the devil fool you by living his reality. You better live your legacy, but it turns fatality. Told you once before that I am, I am on a mission in creating unity, no strings of competition. I is on the prize. Don't lose your vision. Love openly. Don't base it on conditions. You already know what goes around comes around. The equivalency of what goes up must come down. Pay attention, not in school, nominating clowns. It's time to live your legacy, rock your golden crown. Don't ever think that you don't have room for evolution. It's your life. Define your own constitution. When you work for Jesus, prepare for persecution. Jesus paid all our sins, our next revolution. Wipe the tears from your eyes and pain from within and ask the Lord to forgive of your sins. This goes to all creatures, women and men. God's telling you, pay attention. I'm spitting out these words. The name is Amori, in case you haven't heard. I'm soaring like an eagle flying, not a baby bird. I'm claiming all my blessings and it works the devil's nerves. Walking in my season, leading to my destiny. This world we live in is crazy mentality. Don't let this devil fool you by living his reality. You better live your legacy before it turns fatality. In peace. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, give it up for Maria. Thank you, Maria, and good to see you again. And thank you for blessing us on the mic. It's been an honor, like to be able to work with you. Up next, we have Lyrical.
Hey everybody, I'm Lyrical from Watt City. Went to Jordan 2, class of 2002. A great piece from everybody. Everybody got a difference and bring in what's on their mind and what's in their hearts to, have people minds, on another level. I just started my record label actually in February. So just want to get like people that have a different mindset and so they could work their creativity, because a lot of people that's like in industries have to go with what the industry wants instead of them being their own selves. But what I want to the poem that I'm reading is called Jesus Set Me Up. So it goes like this. Going through storms, it's a battlefield of the mind. Control yourself. Devil's trying to set us up. Don't be blind. Meditate on God word for a peace of mind. Recharge your energy. It's a battle with enemies, not enemies. Blessings gonna come, but tests gonna follow. Keep your head up. Devils come to devour you. Nothing come easy. No microwave blessings. In every storm, remember the lesson. No need for repeats. God heard you the first time. Don't sit around continually being blind. Jesus Christ came because we blessed up. Watch out. These devils know it's a setup. Trying to kill you off. Devils fed up. Christ rose, waking, living dead up. Transformation takes time. Crushing process causes new wine. Leave the old man behind. In Christ, we new creatures. Ready for whatever. Pushing through. Jesus set me up. That was a little poem I had.
Nice. You're more than welcome to share another one if you'd like.
Okay, I got one more. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I do apologize. Let me see. Okay, here go one right here. Something like a maze, hard to figure out. Going to the top, that's no doubt. Been dragged through the mud like I'm joining the military. Challenges blindside you. Are you ready? Are you gonna get stuck? Never give up. Strength comes to overtake your weakness. Stand out, bring your own uniqueness. No need to ever cheat to get to the finish line. Stop all the hating. We can all shine. We can all shine. Lord, help me through these struggles. Protect me. These devils looking for trouble. Equip me, Lord. Prepare me for the battlefield. These devils going in for the kill. Speaking everything 100 proof. Translation, speaking that truth. Upsetting the devil's kingdom, exposing lies, trying to bring me down. Devils gonna get fried. Pain hits deep, even through struggles. Devils feel heat. Don't let people take your kindness for weakness. Watch out for devils on assignment. Keep grinding. Showtime, big timing. Never let negative thoughts control your minds. Take take you from Jesus to Hitler in due time. Our hearts can become stone with too many expectations. Tell all haters congratulations. Thanks to them for being stepping stones. Still people childish minded but physically grown.
Awesome. Thank you, Lyrical. We appreciate your words. Uh, for there's a lot of changes that are happening in our communities, and
Mhm.
it's like we need to stand firm and make sure that our people know that it's like we're together. It's like we need to hold the ground. One of these battles is gentrification, for example. This piece is called versus gentrification. Gentrification is not inevitable when community development is available. Imagine the things that could be suitable for your community to be sustainable, and take a walk in the hood that could be, telling your friends what you see, drawing a map of your own. Outsiders don't know who we be. Map at the assets and hoods. What used to be bad could be good. An alley or a lot or a loop. We now need to be overstood. Change up the powers that be. The price that we're paying it free. We need to unite, forget all the spite, and lift up the powers of we. We have the power of choice. That's louder than anyone's voice. We're dropping the eagles and soaring like eagles, so let all my people rejoice. We're doing it all underground. Our network will never be found. Evil is making the news, but I know good people are holding it down. We do not support any cop. That shield can stop every shot. At the end of the day, our children will play, but ours have been killed on the spot. So if the block gets hot, we need to better the spot. Without a doubt, we're calling it out. We need to defund every cop. And then up next, we have a great and talented uh, artist. She is the founder of Pollinator Arts. She will be doing a great presentation and welcoming to our invited guests. Uh, Pollinator Art Petal, take the mic.
Thank you, Will. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Father Amdi, for being with us tonight. We are very honored to have you and to pay homage to your legendary album with the Watts Prophet, Rapping Black on In a White World. Sorry, I'm just trying to turn down my volume on. I have the record right here. I got the vinyl, classic. I just wanted to share that. I even got the signatures. I don't know if you remember signing that for me. Probably signed thousands of them. But thank you very much. I just want to talk a little bit about the Watts Prophets and rapping black in a white world. First, I would like to pay tribute to the fact that this album, the use of the word rapping black in this album was the first time that the word rap was used to represent, emceeing in hip hop and everything. And so this is a West Coast origination. It's a part of LA history. And I just wanted to represent for that to begin. So the Watts Prophets are Otis O'Solomon, Richard Dedew, and Father Amdi Hamilton, who we have with us today. And the Watts Prophets are famous for being the original rap group from Los Angeles, and they have been sampled by countless hip hop artists throughout the years. Their music is especially has been especially influential and is more relevant than ever today. In some ways, that is not, in some ways, it's a very upsetting and sad thing. However, we can see that the legacy of the message through this music has been carried through as we have seen the evolution of people's movements since the inception of this album almost 50 years ago. And so we have a little slideshow tribute that I'm going to share as we play a sample selection from Rapping Black in a White World. And we just want all the youth to hear this, and we want to make sure that this music is getting passed down through the generations, and that, Native Angelenos and especially Watsonians are all familiar with this music and used to hearing it. And it's really important. It's very educational and inspiring and powerful and spiritual. And it's a gift to our community. And it's important for us to know this. LA does not get enough, historic representation through the hip hop world. And we just have to make sure that we carry that on ourselves and at least do that in our community. And so that is the purpose of this poetry jam today. The Wattskanda Earthly Festival Poetry Jam is on a mission to pollinate the minds and to spread the knowledge and make sure that we're carrying on the tradition of each one teach one, so that all the knowledge that we have been shared with by our elders we're passed on. So with that, I'm going to play a sample of Rapping Black in a White World. Actually, I'm sorry. I should have asked you, Father Amdi, would you like to say anything before we play this?
No, I just thank you all for carrying on the tradition. That's what's so important to me, to see that you continue, but because that's how this all started. So like the girl was read her poetry early. She talked about she needed it to express herself. Well, that's what caused the Watts riots in 1965. We were all pent up. We had no area of expression. And when the Watts Writers Workshop came, it opened an area of expression to a lot of great artists, because Watts was known for that. And it was always known as being an innovator. Don Cherry, Arnett Coleman, Billy Higgins, Frank Morgan. But when you say Don Cherry, that's one of the fathers of world music, if you know anything about, world music. And he's one of those fathers out of about 3 or 4 others. So Watts was always an innovator. And as you talked about that record there, that's the first record on earth that talked about rap. Nobody used the word rap in that sense as an art form. the Watts prophets, and the last poets, but they didn't call themselves rappers. The Watts prophets were the ones who called themselves rappers, because when it first started, people would be quite insulted to be called a rapper, because rappers came from the streets, and people would rather be a prestigious poet. The word poet was much more prestigious than the word rapper. But today I think they are shoulder to shoulder. But yeah, thank you guys for carrying on that tradition. And before you go, I would like to read a poem to you also.
Oh my
So
goodness.
just let me know when you're ready for me.
Oh, we are ready right now, sir. We are ready right now.
Well, I
Would
heard
you like?
I can go now. I was listening to the poets talking about evil and our salvation. Well, you know, there's the animal, the mineral, and the vegetable kingdoms. But there's one more, the synthetic kingdom. Now, the synthetic kingdom means plastics and things that you can touch. So when you talk about evil today, you have to look down at that phone in your hand. So let me do a poem speaking of that. I hear people say each and every day that the internet will set modern man free like a dolphin in the sea. Now, since when, my friends, has a net set anything free? Now, my simpleness I regret, but where's the freedom in a net? Fishermen make nets, spiders weave webs, both are traps. The spider know all in his web. He keeps it inside day and night, wrapped real, real tight, with a click and a bite. Down the inline, download, unload. Where's the freedom in the net? Still traps in your laps, net zero, hero, sky, tail, intel, DSL, email, tell. Processing your personal soul for info, no telling where it go. Only the net maker really know. Now, you used to be able to shred it, but now that's jive. The hard drive is always alive. Real tight with clicking. Free man freely entering the net will one day experience regret because there's no freedom in a net. Fishermen control their nets. Spiders control their webs. Who, my friend, controls the World Wide Web you're in? What spider has you in its website? Wrapped real, real tight with a click and a bite. Thank y'all for listening.
Thank you. That was so beautiful. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And now let me, I hope that you will enjoy what I'm about to play for you right now. I'm going to share the screen right now so everybody should be able to see and hear. Wow, that was phenomenal. We are so honored. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm so honored to see you again. As I said, you all still carrying on the tradition. O'Shea and then you guys, the poets that needed an area of expression. That's what poetry is for. But one thing a poet must remember, it's not all about his truth. In fact, it's not about his truth at all. It's about a universal truth that have nothing to do with their opinions. It's a universal truth that a poet must look for. And that he has to be looking for the truth in everything he deals with. And it has to be universal, not just because he feels it. It must touch everybody like the sun shines on all of us. That's a universal truth. The sky is up high. That's a universal truth. I don't care what you think. And a poet's main objective must be the love, love, love of the universal truth. All right?
Thank you. Here we go. One second. Apologies.
But what's his destiny? Black in a white world. When will we gain the freedom that we seek? Must we remain a slave to this thief? There is no justice, there's only grief when you're black in a white world. Sometimes a cry, but what good does it do? Ain't I been told to thine own self be true? My child is born, but what's he gonna do? Black in a white world.
Really? I told you.
Magnificent. Oh, I'm sorry that it was
Say when people pass their souls around like tattered hats or old tin cups, they chance to sell for pennies their most worthy possession. Rapping black.
I said we should take a lesson from the insect. Take a bee. If a bee want honey, he'll go out and make it. And if niggas want freedom, all they got to do is quit crying and lying and dying and just reach out and take it. Take it. Take it.
Instructions on what to do with niggas and Negroes when the revolution starts.
Step 1,
Shoot them in the head and make sure they dead.
Step 2,
Stack all bodies together in neat piles and get behind them and fight this revolution. Revolution. Revolution.
Rapping black, rapping facts, rapping
Nat
black,
Turner
rapping
died fighting for freedom.
rapping black,
Emmett Till was lynched for sassing.
rapping
Bessie Smith bled to death in front of a white folks' hospital. In a nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, say, can you see? Ask not what you can do for your country, but what in the fuck has it done for you?
Look at them flames lighting up the sky. Ain't never seen fire shooting up so high. Look at them flames lighting up the sky.
Look at
Ain't
them
never
flames
seen
lighting up
fire
the sky.
shooting up so high.
I ain't never seen fire shooting up so high. Are you listening, people, to what I'm saying? Because it sure looks to me like them niggas ain't playing.
Them niggas ain't playing.
Them niggas ain't playing.
Them niggas ain't playing.
Ever since they passed them civil rights, those fires have been lighting up the nights. And they say they ain't gonna stop till we all have equal rights. Looks to me like them niggas ain't playing.
Them niggas ain't playing.
Them niggas ain't playing.
Them niggas ain't playing.
Looks like they developed a new black pride. It even showing the way they now stride. You better look around, y'all. Can't you see what I'm saying? Sure looks to me like them niggas ain't playing.
Them niggas ain't playing.
They sure ain't.
They sure ain't playing.
I think they're trying to get something started.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about Snick and us and the Black Panther Party.
Yeah.
Is anyone listening to what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Because it sure looks to me like them niggas ain't playing.
Them niggas ain't playing.
Them niggas ain't playing.
Them niggas ain't playing.
18 billion so far as the claim of damage done by looting and flame. Yet look around, ain't nothing changed.
Nothing's
Damn
changed.
thing.
I sure hope somebody is listening to what I'm saying, because it sure looks to me like them niggas ain't playing.
Them niggas ain't playing.
Them niggas ain't playing.
Them niggas
yo.
sure ain't playing.
The bigots and the birches, they just can't see. This now black generation is gonna be free. Just you try and stop them and for sure you see what I'm saying. Sure looks to me like them niggas ain't playing.
Them niggas ain't playing.
Them niggas ain't playing.
Them niggas ain't playing.
Now where the black man is going is anybody's guess. With his natural hair and his afro dress.
But you can believe one thing and forget the rest.
We know for sure. Them niggas ain't playing. And we ain't either.
Pain, pain, pain. A little for some and a whole lot for others. Complete crushing for those who never understand in this society. Pain is a part of man.
Pain.
Pain.
Endure you must or be crushed. Pain, 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 pain. Like fine eyes burning flesh. Leave me sane. Do not mix my mind and leave me blind. The pain of a disease that has no cure. The pain of a love affair that got nowhere.
Pain.
The pain of a system where oppression you must bear.
Pain.
The pain of a war that has no end.
Pain.
Cruel people that inflict pain.
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 For monetary gain. The pain that a man has to endure when two junior flip hot rod loving pig policemen
Pain.
put him in the position where he must choose against humiliation as a man or death.
Pain.
The pain.
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 Like busting babies' heads against cement walls. Pain.
Pain.
Of people going to the moon while little brothers in Watts hustle hard all night trying to eat. Hand-me-down hats, hand-me-down shoes, everything used. And then you sick peckerwoods want to know why we don't follow rules.
Pain.
There are two little brothers that I know who would someday like to go to a show. Yeah, just a plain old 50-cent show. How much did you say that last moonshot cost? Leave your head, 'cause you ought to be dead.
I looked at the moon so full and so bright, and then at the fireplace with its flickering light, and realized why this world will never be right. Then I threw another log on the fire. Inside these four walls, I am a king. But beyond that door, it doesn't mean a thing. I pay all my dues till I have only a partial membership in world happenings, and my blood runs freely in Vietnam. So I threw another log on the fire. Why do you insist on keeping us caged? You know, all that does is intensify rage. The word now is seize the time, and all power to the people.
Power to the people.
Amandala.
Amandala.
Then I threw another log. Putting us in a cage was a mistake. All that did was intensify hate. Now shackled to our cages, you expect us to wait while you fool around on the moon, and from there look for another place to conquer while I throw another log on the fire. America, you argue, is just doing fine. These racial things, however, do take time. Well, I'm tired of waiting and not getting mine.
Me too.
Except, however, in Vietnam, where every dead black man is a credit to his race, as long as he remembers his place. So I threw another log on the fire. Let it burn. quick to put pencil to paper, can't wait. Must write, must explain before it's too late. The flames are at their peaks now, can't wait. Too many broken promises.
Too many.
Too many black babies asking why.
Too many.
Too many restless armies in the ghetto.
Too many.
So I'll just throw another log on the fire.
A man can walk proudly down any street. A man's not ashamed of what he believes. He knows how to laugh. He knows how to cry. He knows how to live. He's not afraid to die. What is a man? Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me, Otis, what is a man?
I'm a black man, a pimp. All the swinging young hip brothers dig me. I'm their symbol, I'm real. With me they can relate and associate. You see, I came from those same shabby shacks with those same funky rags on my back. But growing up in a world of dog eat dog, I learned that the dirtiest dog got the bone.
Right on.
Meaning not the dog with the loudest bark, but the dog with the coldest heart.
Coldest.
I became the North Pole. Cold, 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 cold. My blood is like ice water in my veins, which the engine of my heart keep pushing through the deep freeze of my frame. I take home money and feel no pain.
No pain.
Like white men do. Only white men pimp niggas and lame. That's where I got the idea for the game.
Right on.
Bunko, that's what it is.
Teach, brother.
But not that lame shit like the white boys play, because once I started playing the game, I improved it right away.
Right away.
You see, I wear $100 fronts and $200 slides, and a hog is the only thing in which I ride, and niggas can't get that on 8 to 5.
Okay.
I have 2 and 3 grands in my pocket every day. Hoes, dough, cocaine is the name of the game I play. But you know, folks tell me that if I'd applied my ability in another way, ain't no telling where I would be today. Because I'm so damn keen. White girls melt like butter when they look into this pretty tan face of mine. Black girls, well, they know I'm fine. Keen and mean and don't give a damn. But I know the truth. If I had a master's, I wouldn't be a damn bit further. I'll just be fooling myself and selling out my brother. I'll still be unhappy because I'm black.
Black.
But I'm not free. I want freedom, freedom, freedom now. Now! So you better watch out for me. Because I'm a black man, a time bomb, destined to explode. But you can't tell where I'm coming from. And the next time instead of buying a Cadillac, I'm gonna buy myself a gun.
A gun.
A man searches for the key to success. He'd rather be sure than make a wild guess. He knows how to love, he knows how to hate, he knows how to move me. He knows just when to wait. What is a man? Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me, Richard, what is a man?
I'm a black man, a time bomb in a cage with nothing to do in this crummy town. Eyes probing cracked ceilings, dirty peeling walls. Then rising from broken mattresses thinking, damn, sure wish I had a drink to help me forget the piss, the rotten, the stink. Bare feet explore cold floor, to cluttered bathrooms, diapers in tub. And wouldn't you know it, no film from a brownie. And now of all the goddamn luck, now the toilet stopped up, and the sight of all this shit is making me sick. Damn, sure wish I had a drink.
Sure wish I had a drink.
Looking out of cracked windows at cluttered yards filled with old wood and junk cars. I can't take anymore, so turning I head for the door. And once outside, I remember my plight. And I accept my fate and vow to return tonight. Because the ghetto is home and it wouldn't be right to leave my home in spite of the sight. So I'll have a few drinks and maybe even a fight. But come hell or high water, I'll be back home tonight.
Be home tonight.
Smoke of it.
A man can be angry and still hold his tongue. A man don't give up till the battle is won. He knows how to win, he's not afraid to lose. I say, he knows how to win, he's not ashamed to lose. He knows that his destiny is his alone to choose. What is a man? Tell us, tell us, tell us, tell us, Tony. What is a man?
You know, folks tell you about the signified monkey and all that stuff.
Right on.
Now let me tell you about a brother that was real and rough. Heaviest, deepest mind this century, bar none. They exalt food, or should I say tools, above him. But those that are hip know they on a trip. You know what Whitey said? What's this man's name exposing our game?
Malcolm, sir, shouted Tom.
Take that nigga's head. He's waking black people from the dead. Talking about lead. Kill they did. But the master was so strong, he lives on. And the man found out he did wrong. Cause the master Malcolm ain't gone.
Teach, brother.
His ideals live on.
And on.
And on.
And on.
And on.
And on.
A man can walk proudly down any street. A man's not ashamed of what he believes. He knows how to laugh. He knows how to cry. He knows how to live. He's not afraid to die. What is a man? 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 What is a man?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
She said it not long ago. If we'd have stayed together, we'd have really got on.
Yeah, it's no doubt about it.
Because she sweetened everything. See?
Yeah, she did.
Thank you, thank you. Many thanks to everyone for joining us for the Watts Prophet tribute, Rapping Black in a White World. I hope that you all enjoyed that musical sample and that you go and download the album for yourself. You can go to wattsprophets.org, I believe. Is it wattsprophets.org? Yes, wattsprophets.org, and you can get any of the music and many more albums. As you saw some of the album covers that were featured. I just wanted to give a shout out to the artists who were also featured in the slideshow. Inkwani, who is a Watts native, Inkwan, provided many of the images as well as Lily Flor art, and some of my artwork was also included as well. And the other pictures were all taken by the Wattskanda team of nature and structures throughout Watts and the very unique Watts towers. And we were just noticing the analogy of these three main towers and how the three members of the Watts Prophets, you know, there's this magical three, but I also wanted to acknowledge the magnificent Dee Dee McNeil for her amazing work on Rapping Black in a White World. She was just so inspiring, and her voice just it's like, oh, it echoes. It's so powerful. And I just wanted to make sure to give her a shout out. And yes, give thanks very much for this music. It's very fulfilling and educational and moving, and I'm so grateful. So we're going to be moving on right now to actually discuss a little bit more about the Watts Writers Workshop. And I'm going to be doing an interview with Brother O'Shea Luja, also artistically known as Food for Thought. So I have a couple of questions for you, Brother O'Shea.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So we just want to learn a little bit more about the Watts Writers Workshop. So can you tell us what led to the birth of the Watts Writers Workshop?
So first, I just want to say peace, to everybody. And yes, Baba Amdi, I always ask for permission when he's in the midst. Baba, can I have permission to speak? Okay, he's probably mute. Oh yeah, he said yes. Okay, thank you, Baba. Thank you. Yeah, he just gave me permission to speak. So in terms of the Watts Writers Workshop, you said what led to the birth of that, in inner cities across the country, there are generally 5 things that leads to revolts, right? And that's poor schools, no jobs, police brutality, insufficient health care, right? And it's very important, like when those things are prevalent in any society, the people's natural reaction is to revolt. And in Watts, it was no different. I wasn't there physically during the Watts revolt of 65. However, I was there for the 92 revolt. So the Watts Writers Workshop was born out of that energy, right? So Bud Schulberg, as history says, it came to Watts, right? And it was already a bustling town of creatives, and Bud came down there to, insert the energy or the structure of writing, and that's what happened in 65. So many greats came out of that workshop. Just to name a few, of course, the Watts Prophets, Father Amdi, Richard Dito, and Otis O'Solomon. You had Jimmy Sherman, Odie Hawkins, Harry Dolan, Ross Poet, Ojinki, Wanda Coleman, right? It's so many giants that came out of that workshop. Quincy Troop. And that workshop, one of the attendees said it was the greatest success story in American writing history. So it's very important to note that a lot of people really the misconception is great art, great music, great culture, great tradition do not come from Watts. But yes, it was always in Watts, and the Watts Writers Workshop tapped into something that was always there because there was a long history of this energy that was going on in Watts.
Thank you for sharing that education with us. Can you tell us about how you became part of the Watts Writers Workshop? How did
Yes, absolutely. So me being a student first over at Grape Street Elementary School, I used to go to a barbershop called Mitchell's Barbershop on 112th and Wilmington. And in that barbershop, Mitchell used to have all these magazines, all these newspapers, and he would encourage me to read the newspapers. So I saw a story about the Watts Writers Workshop. This had to be in the late 70s, and I just was fascinated, right? And then I always knew that one day I would get charged with, being a part of that energy, right? So how faith would have it, I was able to go over to Leimert Park at the world stage in like the early 90s. And then I would see, the Watts Prophets, and always knew, I remember when I first saw him in the 80s, I was like, I'm a Watts Prophet. I knew I was, right? But I couldn't articulate that capacity. But I began to study to show myself, approve, as the book says. So in that energy, the Watts Writers Workshop, I first joined the Anansi Writers Workshop at the world stage, which is the child
of the Watts Writers Workshop, right? Watts Writers Workshop is 1965. Anansi Writers Workshop was 1989. So in 2010, my wife and I, we started the Still Waters Writers Workshop, which is the grandchild of the 1965 Watts Writers Workshop. So it's a continuous legacy. And then in some years ago, Father Amdi, under his leadership and tutelage, gathered us together to bring back the new Watts Writers Workshop. So with that being said, we formed and we've been creating ever since. And I want to just say to the poets, to the writers that's in this energy right now, that's listening to my voice, join the workshop. We will have a Zoom Watch Writers Workshop where some of you can join it, because it's so important to read other poetry, to just read, period. And that's what will give you the energy to articulate, as Father Amdi was saying, a universal truth. And that's one of the things that my wife and I began to do and express through our workshop that was centered in the 1965 Watts Writers Workshop. And last but not least, as you are doing in this Wattskanda energy, y'all are honoring the Watts prophets, and that's so special. We want to encourage you to keep that energy up, because Father Amdi told us many years ago, if you ask Amiri Baraka about a poet, he'll tell you about Sonia Sanchez. You ask Sonia Sanchez, she may tell you about Nikki Giovanni. But it's so very important for poets on the West Coast to bring each other energy, and that's what you all are creating right now. So I'm totally grateful for this, and I'm sure Father Amdi is as well. But poets listening, you gotta read other poetry, you gotta get in the workshop, because all of these things will be more tools in your toolbox so you can express a universal truth.
Well, amen. Thank you so much. We are very happy to be building this platform with the community to, further share this expression. And since we're now, dealing with a lot of virtual, events and virtual interaction, we see that as a good opportunity to engage more folks and be inclusive and bring people in and just create those connections between all the artists in the community, everyone. So thank you. So I wanted to ask you just a few more questions before we move on to the Watts Writers Poet. As a historian, considering, you know what, I'm sorry, I have one question before that. How was the Watts Prophets formed? We kind of touched on that, but more the Watts Writers Workshop, but can you let us know a little, how was the Watts Prophets formed, and what influence did they have in the community and music industry?
Oh wow! So they was formed out of the Watts Writers Workshop, right? So in that energy, they came together, and then they began to engage in this art form. And there's one thing that I want to make real clear. So when you're talking about poetry and spoken word, you have prose poets, and then you have quote unquote rhyme poets. So when you're dealing with the impact of the music industry in hip hop, you're dealing with rhyme poetry that morphed into, what we see today, hip hop. So when you're talking about one of the fathers of rhyme poetry, for me, it is Father Amdi, and it's the Watts Prophets. Why? Because again, as you said so wonderfully, in 1971, their title and composition, Rapping Black in a White World, was the first album and composition to define and develop the art form of rapping, right? That's very, very important. So we need more people. You say you are the Watts City poets that are listening. We need you to ring and echo that, right? So rap was first defined and developed as an art form in Watts. So the impact that it has had on the music industry, as Father Amdi said, first, now they're rapping all over the world, but he can remember when they were only rapping in Watts. So it's very important for us to know, like when you look at Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, you name it, any West Coast influence, right? You have to turn and point to the Watts Prophets. There's no way around it. You gotta deal with it. And I was able to be at UCLA when Father Amdi was on the stage with KRS-One, and it was a hip hop panel. And Father Amdi brought forth this information with the album that you just showed us in your hand, which is the 50th anniversary this year. Amdi stood up, spoke, he's a master orator. So he spoke wonderfully about exactly what I just told you in 1971. And afterwards, KRS-One, and we have this on video, stood up and said, wow, we have to go back and deal with some history books. For me, I'm like, we don't got to deal with history books because we're dealing with it right now, right? So we don't got to go change nothing. We just want to insert this legacy, this tradition, this culture of rap being first defined and developed in Watts into the historical context. And that's what we're doing. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, very much. And I know that, when you say that, I've read before about some of the like hip hop from the East Coast, and it seemed like they had completely different terms, like posting and stuff like that. Like, and so I think it's really important to recognize that the Watts Prophets did coin that term, and they did start, they did provide a cornerstone of the foundation for West Coast hip hop. And so many MCs, so many artists have sampled the Watts Prophets from like Too Short, Snoop, and all kinds of, really big rappers.
And then lastly, if I may say, what's very important for all you Watts City poets, remember this: they were the first to define and develop the art form of rapping, right? So that's very important. And the reference is in their 1971 title and composition, Rapping Black in a White World. It's just important that we say it right, because things can be taken out of context, right? Because we're not trying to take anything away from all of the people in New York that did their thing, or up north or in the South, hip hop as a culture. However, one of the very, to me, the most important element in hip hop is the spoken word, and that's rapping. And the Watts Prophets was the first to define and develop that. So let the history books reflect that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, in the kind of like underground arts, LA, we don't really get our proper credit. It's like everybody thinks that we borrowed hip hop and we borrowed graffiti from the East Coast, but we've been doing that here for a really long time, and nobody was just really noticing. We were just kind of under the radar because we were so far away from a lot of the other places that was happening closer together, But the legacy speaks for itself. So I think it is definitely important to pay homage and to recognize and to, make sure that we are educating and sharing facts. Yes. So my next question is, as a historian, considering the rich history of the people's art, cultural resilience of the past and present, what do you foresee or recommend the next wave of arts to be?
That's a strong question. And then with that being said, it's so many things that I could say about the next wave of art, but because I'm in it and immersed in it, what I would love to do is I would like to hear one of my grandmaster teachers, Father Amdi, answer that question. Baba, could you answer that question? Could you ask it again? And I would like for him to answer that.
Okay, yes, I will ask it again. As a historian, considering the rich history of the people's art, music, and cultural resilience of the past and present, what do you foresee or recommend for the next wave to be? What advice can you give us in the movement now today as we move forward? What would you like to see happening more?
Well, the artists have to unite as artists. We are weird and different, but we can get along with each other as artists. We can't unite the whole world because they look at us as abstract anyway. But what I say about us is we have to unite as artists and begin to work together to bring the economics of our art up. We can't let other people continue to control the economics of our art. In other words, we have to begin to start our own marketplaces like you find in other countries sometimes. Watts has that kind of flavor that it can do things like that. It can connect up. I'm just showing you we have to continue to develop and continue to create. We can't get caught up in style. Style is the death of creativity. What we did in 65, you cannot do today. We had different problems. Many things you can deal with, but most of all, your problems, we didn't, when I was a kid, I didn't have a cell phone addiction, but I see it everywhere now. You guys have different problems than we did. And the artist has always got to be the leader. He's got to be the innovator. He's got to see it sometimes before the people see it. And he's got to turn on things that he didn't want to turn on. Because if he see it that it ain't right, he's got to move. That's where the artist is. That's why he's kicked to the side sometimes. Because people don't want. But as I said, you got to continue to create. But you got to create economically also. We can't continue to not develop economic outlets for our art. And we got to do that by cooperating with each other under the banner of artists. You don't try to get everybody else. The intellectuals may not want to deal with you, because you're abstract and all that they say. But unite as artists and work together, whatever color you are, work together. That's my thing for the future.
Ashe.
Serious, yes.
Ashe.
A whole amen, all of that. Thank you. I agree so much. Like as a painter and a muralist, I do not like it when people try to tell me that, artists are just like creatives and real artists don't, worry about business and all that. If you're an artist, you need to be an entrepreneur. You need to be in charge of your legacy and be in charge of, be in ownership of your art. And I'm really grateful to see all the young people in hip hop today that own their own labels and really push that. And that's another West Coast, origination from E40. I want to say he was the first rapper to open his own label that I can remember, from my era.
Well, we always forget
Yeah, we always forget Easy-E. That's right, Easy.
Ooh.
We cannot.
Why do we always forget him?
Yes.
Ooh.
Right.
Oh, shame on me. I apologize.
Absolutely. Yes,
Thank you for the
Easy-E,
reminder.
Giant and Easy-E worked up close and personal with Father MD. So yes, we give it up for Easy-E for paving that energy. Very, very important to continue to ring his name.
Yes, Easy-E. Thank you for that correction.
Yes.
Well, excellent. So how can people get involved with the Watts Writers Workshop? How can they contact you?
So people can contact us. We'll have a link on if you go to stillwatersevents.com, you can click on and submit your information for the Watts Writers Workshop. And you also will have a link to wattsprofits.org. So them two sites. So you could go to wattsprofits.org or you could go to stillwatersevents.com and you can sign up for the Watts Writers Workshop. And what we'll do is we will give you some links. So at the end of May, we'll be taking more attendees. So it'll be an open call, and we really are interested in the Watts City poets that are on here, and then anybody that's over in Watts. There's so many wonderful young poets, and we want them to be in this energy because, again, the workshop is so very important because, as Amdi was saying, you first start writing your quote-unquote feelings or truth or whatever you see, from your vantage point. However, keep writing, because it is a universal truth that you will begin to express. And one of the ways I know that you can express that is in mediums like workshops, because people will not just say, hey, that was great, that was great. They will give you the feedback that you really need to grow as an artist, right? And again, I can't stress how important it is to read other poets, and then to do our homework, right? To just know that this writing, the poetry is an oral history, right? So and it's transferred down from the griot, the West African storytellers. So just know that you all are charged, if you're calling yourself poets, with the history of what griots do. And griots do study to show themselves approved. They do honor their elders and their ancestors, and then they pass the legacy and energy on to their students. So if you're calling yourself a poet, hey, let's deal with it. It's a beautiful thing to deal with.
Well, speaking of griots, I just want to give a shout out to Freestyle Fellowship, Inner
Yes.
City Griots, because that is definitely one of the ways that I found my way to the Watts Prophets, was through Project Blowed and
Yes.
Fellowship. And
Yeah.
you know, I just wanted
Really
to
good friends of
definitely
mine. Like I was at
give a
the
shout out.
my boy AC Alone, Micah 9, Self Jupiter, Peace, all of
Peace.
them. You know, that's family. Like, yeah, Big
Yeah.
Arch. If you know Big Arch, he's a
Mhm.
heavyweight out of Watts, right? But he was
Okay.
a Project Blowed heavyweight, Big Arch.
Oh yeah, he was on them Fat Jack albums,
Yes,
for
he
sure.
is.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, word. Well, is there anything else that you would like to share before we move on to the Watts Writers Workshop Poet?
There's really nothing else I want to share right now. I'm just giving thanks and praises that Father Ramdi was able to join us, and all you poets out there. That's a very special thing, and that should go into your story. You should be able to document that, and as Father Ramdi said, search for that universal truth to connect with your through your writings, through your poetry, with the world. And this is one of the ways to start. That rap was first defined and developed as an art form in Watts by the Watts Prophets. So create a poem about that. That's your first mission. So do that. And I would love to hear that poem. I would be the first one that you could get my number, my email. I want to hear that poem. You know what I'm saying, about rap being born in Watts. And that's how we keep this legacy going.
Yes.
That's what poets do.
On it. That's what's up.
He said he owned it. That's right. That's right. Yes. Yes. Get on it. Yes.
Thank y'all.
Lovey Scott, get on it, Lovey. Who else?
True.
Pedal, get on it. Portia, get on it. We're calling y'all out. Jackie, get on it. We would love to hear that poem about rap being defined and developed as an art form in Watts. Yeah.
So thank you, Pedals, for like having that that tribute that you had. It was very powerful. I was like stuck and glued to the screen. And also the great interview that you had with Food for Thought. One of the things that I really appreciate about poetry, because for me, I'm a writer. People, when it's like I rap as well. It's like and it's now connecting it to like the history of the community where like help raise me. It's like it is definitely going in my portfolio that I performed. Like alongside of Father Hamde. And it's like all the history that came out from this interview was a blessing. Was jewels, gems, and all of that. Y'all are giants to me, and for me, it's easier for me to express myself. As you could tell, when I get nervous, I stutter, but when I perform, here you go. This is a organize. If you have a problem with the system, you can choose to just complain, or be quick to find a noun that can be targeted for blame. But these are not solutions that'll fix the current state. You're better off ignoring them. and accept your given fate. But if you're down to make a difference, then start to look within. Challenge your reality and how you're pitching in. Then think about a person that is down to work with you and all the possibilities together you can do. Write down your ideas, archive all your notes, work and plan your actions using all the nuts and bolts. The allies in your circles will help to reach your goal, but let go of the people that do not help you grow. Maintain accountability without the need to shame, and continue with this process to keep each other sane. Ashe.
Thank you, young man. that was
beautiful.
groovy. Thank you, young man. Keep that energy up. And just to add, I grew up stuttering really, really bad. However, when I started writing and reciting poetry, the stutter went away. So yeah, I feel you, so keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Petals, is it okay? Is it time? Should I introduce the Watch Writers poets that we have with us?
Sure, yes, please.
Is that so? So I'm just keeping the energy, alive. Can you get her, my love? We want to first bring up the youngest member that we know of today of the Watch Writers Workshop. She is Love, and she is our daughter. However, before I want to bring her up, Love is 6 years old, and she has a book coming out next month, and the book is entitled Hair Formation. She'll tell you a little bit more about that, and she'll jump right into her poem. So this is the youngest member of the Watch Writers Workshop, and we'll be looking for her to take the mantle and run with it for another 100 years. So Love, everybody.
Well, welcome, Love. Thank you for joining us, blessing us with this poem.
Hi, everybody. My name is Love, and I'm gonna sing my poem called Hair Formations. So let's go. I am ponytails, I am afro puffs, I am afros, twisties, and all that stuff. Braids, locks, and cornrows too. I am curly, kinky, coily roots, dark brown, red, black, and blonde. However my hair grows, it is the bomb. I am many colors, textures, bald, thick or thin. My hair is strong, and however I choose to wear it, there is nothing wrong. Long, short, so many styles I can wear, because I will always remember I am more than just my hair.
All right.
Fire. Yeah.
Beautiful. That was so magnificent. Thank you so much. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing that with us.
Yeah,
Oh, what a
yes.
blessing.
So, and this is just to show you what poetry can do. We could have had other members of the Watch Writers Workshop, of some of our students come on. However, we just chose to keep the lineage in, some of our children, right? And the next one that's coming up to share with you, his name is Perry Luja, and this is our son. He's up in San Jose, California. So Perry Luja, jump in, man. Tell us who you are, man, and bless us with a piece.
Welcome, Perry. Thank you.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Yeah.
You guys hear me?
Did you join the audio?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'll just say peace and love, everybody. Appreciate the opportunity just to be here and just be in this energy with you all and have an opportunity just to share some of my work with you guys. I always just love being in this creative space. So, this is really dope.
And your mic is kind of low too, Perry Luja. Your mic. That's a little better.
Okay. Hi, Love.
Yeah, there you go. Now that sounds good right there.
All right, for sure. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get into it.
Stop jumping.
At what age do dreams become unrealistic? When do we realize that no matter how hard we try, we just ain't good enough and begin to accept defeat? Because as children, we're all taught to believe that we could be anything we want to be, and often told to chase our dreams by some of the people who are too afraid to follow their own. We need to start protecting these children. Because nowadays, young queens sit crisscross in front of TV screens prepping to become the next Kardashian, while young men, we're just vanishing. Young women, they're just vanishing. James Baldwin said our crown has already been bought and paid for, and all we got to do is wear it. And is that true? Probably, but I'm still faced with the task of determining which king I'm destined to be, Martin or Rodney. And maybe I shouldn't talk like this. Maybe I shouldn't be fazed by the pain, but with every martyr slain, my pen aches. In a society where nobody can afford to be any sadder, the community problems be the reason our wins low. So it's bigger than just a family matter. Matter of fact, the fact seems to be we can obtain change, not in our pockets. So even when a black man's in office, but you see how far they say we've come? Mike Brown shot dead in the middle of the street, but you see how far he run? Incompetent politicians attempt to trump the citizens, but yet you see how far they get when they run? Run, young black man, run. Black women know that you are a queen, and queen know that you be a goddess. You be the closest representation on earth to what God is, my Lord. Tell me where we went wrong. Probably too many fools shucking and jiving on stage, passing it off as rap music, abusing the art that my ancestors died for. And to make matters worse, my generation is now stuck on generating opinions of gender identity and misgendering. Caitlyn Jenner is not my place, but my soul still burns. Like blunts being passed to the next potential Dante Wright. Brown eyes stay bloodshot red because we just trying to get high enough to reach our lost friends. Y'all know these as kids, right? These are kids who are young enough to dream, but old enough to realize how crazy some of those dreams may seem. So they just begin to settle for a regular 9 to 5. After serving 4 to 5 years of our lives in college, not learning anything but how to stretch $20 and survive solely off top ramen, this world been crazy. Parents been losing their babies. We done all that marching, all that protesting, and we still hoping for some change because every day my peers and I still wake up to the commencement of these Hunger Games where police aim over the color of skin and peers aim over the color of shoelaces. Life has us in the NYPD chokehold as we try to garner up the courage to breathe. This be the stuff that the world barely sees because the news ain't used to show it. And granted, the Oscars are more excited than BART station assassinations. You know, it's funny how cops kill us, but they say how cops kill us, and then they tell us that we still kill each other too. So most of that revolutionary pro-black talk be dead to most of my friends on the corner who gunshots was the only pops they ever knew. Eyes black blue from being kicked in the head by reality. This generation seems to think that social media is a necessity. So it ain't no wonder why we live our lives vicariously through celebrities and some rap artists who preach lifestyles that they just don't live. Telling us to live fast and die young, then turn around and promote education and longevity to their kids. This industry pimps artists into pimping their own people. It's a crazy world we live in, but we just continue living and hope that one day we're not defined by the neighborhoods and communities we live in. Besides, we got other things to think about. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Oh my Jesus, that was beautiful. Talking about all of the issues that you know, it's like we're going through like right now and have been going through like in the past. Brother, thank you so much. And all the little sister love, oh my Jesus. Like it generations right here. There's multi-generations right here at this moment, at this present moment. So thank y'all for you know, it's like sharing your family love, you know, like with us. So it's like, thank you.
Last but not least, we actually have one more poet, writer, herbalist. She does all things beautiful and wonderful. This is my wife, the mother of this energy you heard, Queen Socks.
Greetings, everyone. So
thank you.
Yes, thank you for having us, and thank you again, Baba Amdi. Of course, I would like to ask for permission to speak. If you ask for permission from an elder to speak and they don't give you permission, you cannot speak. Baba? I think Baba frozen.
Speak.
Okay, so we're gonna jump right in. That will be us someday. Reminiscing about today so that we'll never forget how we got to this place. Some of us are shooting off the earth, but know that we'll at least hit a star. Others won't even try so hard and ignore the fact that the truth is but a phone call away. See, the torch will be passed down from generation to generation, and taking a word of someone else is not the mentality that got us off the plantation. Some of us will burn by the fire because we are too lazy. Others will catch the flame, while most of us will run with the torch while thanking the universe for the opportunity to yell out names like Askia Ture, Amiri Baraka, Sonia Sanchez, Willie Ricks Mukasa, Chairman Fred, and OG Shaka. And because we now hold the torch, we yell out our names because our stories will be read as long as we keep the people fed. So I yell out Socks and Yao Watts, AK Tony and Food for Thought, Nikki Skies, Jahaz Zayanabu, and Artist Mansoir, as we soar on the wings of Ma'at, transcending dimensions through silence. Now feel me speaking metaphysically like Marcus through Julius Garvey, or like that eye contact that your mama used to give instead of saying, I'ma tap that black if you touch that. We no longer prove ourselves, we remember self, while becoming the art that imitates life or simply being the artist that is life. And if what Dr. Ben said is true, and heaven is between a black woman's legs, then let me be Goddess Newt so that my Geb is well protected. And because he feeds, I keep him well fed. Although much is to be said about what is to be expected, we must learn the rules first so that we can justify breaking them. And because that will be us someday, we must look back with no regrets today. That's that piece.
Many thanks. Blessings.
So
Beautiful.
So I'm not gonna be long, but I will be strong. I'm just gonna jump in and just give y'all a little something. I ease in like wind. I ease in like wind. Cha-cha sideways and alligator tip Stacy Adam roller skates. Rolling the eighth out of a quarter. Convertible deuce in a quarter squats next to 3 pet boards and a weight bench out of the backyard of Watts, rocking a purple polyester jumpsuit, spinning into a James Brown split. Ice pick tucked in my turban, what they hit for? Tossing glass peppermint dice out of a black leather cup. I'm a bad mother, shut your mouth. For show shot, bro shot. Watch profits, rapping black in a white world. In the words of Red Fox, if you catch me with a white girl, I am holding her. I am holding her for the police. I'm a cold piece of black arts west. Power to the people. People power, standing the test of antiquity. Lifting weights to have my back arms harder than a project brick. I am the voice of Bungie Carter. Shouting, do something, nigga, if you only spit. Taking 2 to the chest, taking 3 to the chest on the campus of UCLA. Can UCLA in 1960s crystal ball watch prophets standing tall? I am a watch prophets student rapping black in a white world. I am Watts. Never forget where I come from. I am Watts, 1965 in 2033. I am Watts, 1965 in 2033. I say I am Watts, 1965 in 20 what? 33. In 20 what? 33. In 20 what? 21. I'm Watts 1965 in 2033.
I'm speechless. Really, I'm just speechless. So this has just been so magnificent. Thank you all for making this happen and making this all come together. We're so grateful to you. This has just been beautiful to see everyone connect, and this is what it's all about. And wow. Yes, Will, do you want to say something? Our host with the most.
Yes. I also want to thank everybody, like for your presence, for your talents, for your words, for the wisdom, for all those seeds of words that, like are going to inspire the future. Thank you so much. And from very beginning to the very end, it's like we want to remember that our ancestors are present. You know what I mean? All these generations, like we've heard from elders, and we've heard from the youth, and we want to continue this type of movement moving forward. Watts is very close knit community. There's a lot of people that generationally can come back and it's like be like, yeah, I remember that, or yes, I know that person. you know, or yes, that happened in Watts, you know. So thank you all for, you know, like revitalizing our connecting us back to our roots, you know. And everything that we do, you know, is like is definitely an extension to the future that we create. So thank you. To close us off, we want to bring back Jackie, and if you could also if you have any other poem that you would like to share to close us out as well, let us know.
We actually do have a video of the Watts Prophets for the grand finale that we were given permission to use one of their performances. So if anyone else wants to share something before, then now would be the time.
Yes,
There we
Jacqueline
go.
Barbejo here. And I just want to thank everyone for blessing this space with your, man, talents from the Most High to keep this culture alive. When you do the math, you know, they say that cycles happen every 30 years. And so from 65 to 92, 27 years, 92 to the 2020 George Floyd incident. That's 27 years. So it's up to us to keep this culture alive and to represent the K in Wattskanda, the kinetic connectivity of the community. And Father, I'm D. We are so grateful unto you. Thank you for paving the way for us and creating that space. And also, I would like to say that I am a student of the great Johnny H. Scott, who taught me it's not how you start, but how you finish. And I believe that we are on to something. We are bringing this third Watts Renaissance back alive. And I thank you all again. Please make sure that you check us out as the programming and the community shall continue. This is not a one-off. This is our culture and our way of life. And so thank you for joining us and entering into our world. Thank you again.
Yes, we are so grateful to have you with us today, Father Amdi, and for all of the wisdom that you shared today and through all the many decades of your music and albums. And we just are grateful to all the Watts Prophets, Oda Solomon and Richard Dido. And also, we want to acknowledge again Dee Dee McNeil for her amazing singing and piano, and all her contributions to Rapping Black in a White World, which is such a significant album for the history of hip hop culture and so much more. So with that said, I want to thank all the poets. I want to thank you, Father Amdi. I want to thank you, Queen Socks and Food for Thought. I want to thank you, Lovely. I want to thank you, Terry. I want to thank you, Will Flo and Miss Jackie. And thank you everyone for supporting us at Wattskanda and helping us with the launch of this movement. I want to thank Portia as well for her beautiful poem that she shared with us. And we hope to have you all back in the future. We're going to be doing these poetry jams on a monthly basis. So with that, we're going to end with When the 90s Came, a special performance by the Watts Prophets. And this was filmed in 2006. And yes, we're going to close out with this fantastic performance. And here we go.
Watts Prophets! When the 90s came, I tried to change my negative social outlook. Oh, yeah. Just maybe the world really wasn't run by crooks. Oh, you think not? On close inspection, I saw that justice and morality was no longer reality in most men's mentality. Racism was Malcolm had been reduced to a commercial X, and the Panthers to a movie. When the 90s came, I saw black self-hate at a high, vicious rate. When the 90s came, I heard panhandlers panhandling. When the 90s came, I stumbled over homeless soup kitchen abused youth. When the 90s came, with in vogue value. When the 90s, suicidal, sexed out, mixed up Nintendo Game Boy kids, doing violent dances, taking deadly chances. When the 90s came, I peeped the middle class becoming last fast. Speeding backward. Network, corporate, multinational insanity has control of humanity. And the world psyched into an ethnic fight. Black and brown. As the gun runners grow in economic might. White, yellow. And the poor people struggle and fight. And struggle and fight. And struggle and fight. When the 90s came. I saw smiling billboards and comedians everywhere. Pacifying. Sprinkling mechanical laughter here and there. To hide the deadly mental despair. When the 90s came. And rain was inflicted. Oh, that hurt. I'd never seen such a thing. When the 90s came, persuasive political TV bites. When the 90s came, take people's rights. When the 90s came, I saw the world's real mass murderers sitting in the highest purchase from the government to the church. Self-righteous high-tech killers, robbing and raping minds at prime time. Mental scars, civil wars, fought bars. People singing hate songs of death and tribal wars. And rape women, weeping children die. Most time for a great big law and order. When I saw disease and pollution with no solution. As psyched out, robot involved mind people. Sounding like sheep and weed because of prime time, and we computerized multimedia mentality has become their reality. When the 90s came, I learned to have hope. Sometimes in the face of no hope. When the 90s came, but because of people like you, I still have hope. I still believe. And through all the negativity happening, there's still some positive changes happening now. When the 90s came. When the 90s came.
And this concludes the first annual Wattskanda Poetry Jam on Earth Day, honoring the Watts prophets.